Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to pop on and show you my October journal, my special October journal, and something that I am going to be doing for the month of October. So this is my cute little journal that I made, and this is the little kit. I am essentially doing an October daily for the month of October. I've always wanted to do one, and I've never done one because I don't really celebrate Halloween. And for some reason this year I really wanted to do one. Like I went on a YouTube binge of October dailies, but of course all of them are very Halloweeny themed, and I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I still wanted to do one. And so I figured, just like December daily, where I don't celebrate Christmas, but I still do one as sort of like a December journal that's sort of wintry, and it's just the documenting of my month. I decided to take that approach and do my October daily. And so if you saw already on my Instagram or on my website, you will know that I am doing something that I am calling October Magic. I actually printed out my little my tiny little prompts list. You can see a bigger version of this on my website or on Instagram, but essentially I'm just doing a journaling challenge for the month of October. I'm doing it for myself, but I figured, hey, let's make a thing of it, see if other people want to join in and do it. And so I've called it October Magic, and I will be doing, hopefully, I will be doing, because me and daily projects, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, I'll be doing a prompt a day. So I have prompts here. I have a prompt a day for each day of October, and I'll just be doing some journaling in my journal based on that prompt. And so my prompts, if you had a look at them, they are definitely seasonal. Like when I say seasonal themed, I mean like they're themed for the season, right? They're themed for the spooky season of October and like autumn. And I know not everyone lives in the northern hemisphere or even celebrates Halloween. That's probably not a thing, but I did it in a way in which that you can kind of tweak the prompt if you want. So for example, I know the first prompt is at summer's end, but if you are in the southern hemisphere, you can easily just change that to at winter's end, right? And you can just flip it on its head that way. And then some of the other ones that are more of I guess Halloweeny or spooky themed. Like I have one here that says pull a card. I put that there because I thought of like tarot and oracle cards. You know, you pull a card like how a psychic would, right? At like one of those harvest festivals and stuff. Or it can be pull an encouragement card or an affirmation card, or if you don't have those types of cards, a quote, right? You can flip it on its head like that. Things like autumn outfit, you can do spring outfit, things like same with autumn bucket lists. And then I have some that are like spooky flicks, scary stories. For spooky flicks and scary stories, for spooky flicks, for me, I'm probably going to list out my favorite kind of spooky movies. For scary stories, I thought about listing out my favorite spooky stories, like scary books, or maybe books that are like autonomous books. So like certain books that come into my head are, one of my favorites, it's called Old Magic, or Night Circus. That's a great book. That's about magicians. So they're not really Halloween stories. Like another one that comes to mind is Stardust, which is not really Halloweeny, but it's magic, right? And so, or like if you're in, you can tell a scary story, like something scary that happened in your life, or like a literal like Halloween story or tradition or something like that. And then I have other prompts that are like a color palette or a mixtape or daydreaming or sweet treats, you know, biggest fears. Like again, those are, they all fit a theme, but you know, you can talk about your biggest fears, like what you have always been scared of or scared to do, not necessarily in the whole like this scares me, like spiders scare me, you know. And so I try to have the prompt be a little bit open-ended so that you can flip it on its head if you need to, because I know that not everybody celebrates a spooky season or witchy season Halloween in general. I know this has always been my struggle with these types of, I guess, community memory keeping challenges for certain seasons. Like Christmas, I just don't do Christmas, and I know a lot of Christmas is like telling your Christmas stories or holiday stories, and I just don't do that. And so I wanted to do a prompts list that was a little bit more inclusive to those who just don't. I did definitely theme it to be related to the holiday, because I actually, when I was planning on doing this, I was just like, okay, I know I don't really have Halloween supplies because I just don't have, it is not a theme that I go shopping for. What I do have here that is strictly for that theme are these, I guess, Simple Stories had a collection called Spellbound, and I believe I won this at like a International Scrapbooking Day giveaway, and this was something that was included, right? And so I had it already, and I kept it because my intention for it was to maybe do like a Harry Potter themed scrapbook, but of course I hadn't done that, and I haven't done that, and I'm not sure when I will be doing that. And so I figured I can use that, but I generally don't have those sort of supplies, and I was looking to see if I can go shopping, and I was looking at some of the Prima lines, like the one from I think last year or 2 years ago, I think it was last year, was 31. I was looking to find some of that, and then now there's a new Prima collection called Luna, which is basically the sister of that previous one, and it's a Halloween collection, but it's pinks and like mints with the orange and then the black and white. I'm not a big fan of orange, and so while I was contemplating getting some of those pieces, I decided to shop my stash. And when I did shop my stash, I ended up pulling out things that were not necessarily Halloween, but had that feel. It had that feel. A lot of it I've already used in my journal, but I just pulled out like autumnal bits, and I noticed that I was leaning towards more of these sorts of colors, like the maroons, the purple, basically everything that I used on my cover here. So purples, this wine color or maroon, some teals, some blues, like those were sort of the colors that I was finding myself being gravitated towards, and like what I was pulling out of my stash that I already had. So I basically created a kit from my stash. And this is the remnants of it, because most of the papers and stuff went in here, and I'm going to flip through this. But when I pulled out this kit, I'm like, I really like these colors, which are these colors in the little prompts list. So I ended up creating my own digital kit, which a lot of it I have already used in here. But I kind of wanted to show you what I created for my digital kit, and then I will show you all the rest of the bits that I've pulled out to use. And so I created a kit that matched the little prompts lists. I don't even know where my prompts list went. My little prompts list. So all of the little icons of the prompts list are from the kit. So I kind of started creating the kit first, and then went ahead and used bits and pieces of it to create the prompts list. So the prompt challenge, the journaling challenge, is called October Magic, and my little digital kit, which you can find in the shop right now, is called Mystic Magic. So I kind of went with more of a magic feel, because I feel like the colors of this kit are a bit more witchy and not so much, I guess, Halloweeny. There's definitely no orange, because I'm not a fan of orange. And there are a few things that are in this kit. I have a 2-page journaling printable, which is basically structured like how my free printables, my free monthly printables, if you've been around since those, it's a 2-page printable that is basically that. It's basically formatted like that. So you have you have an entire page of icons and little cut apart bits. So these are them. So you have some butterflies, and so you have some teal green, some pink, and then you have like a different type of pink that looks more purpley, right? You have some little strips that says Hocus Pocus. This says Something Wicked This Way Comes, Midnight Magic. There are a lot of these moon icons that are kind of like they have little floral bunches, but they're basically full moons. You have some pumpkins. You have another little pumpkin floral cluster. You have the floral cluster. You have this little cute cat that shows up everywhere. Again, the moons and the moon phases. You have a black bird. Again, the little kitty with the pumpkins, and then a little vintage piece like this, and some more butterflies. And so this is the first page of the journaling printable. So this is a 2-page journaling printable. The first page is always the little icons and the cut apart bits, which was that. And then the second page is a page full of cards. And so it's I think there's about 4 3x4 cards. And so you have it's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus. This is very Hocus Pocus theme. Like, this can definitely be Binks. You have this floral, and then you have this little writing spot, and then another little floral wallpaper. I have extras here because I think I printed them out once, and these 2 cards like messed up or something in my printer, but I don't even know which way this one goes. It's literally just, you know, you can use it to layer or anything. And so this is the second page. Thackeray Binks. I was trying to figure out his first name. Yes, it's little Binks hiding behind pumpkins. It's very cute. So the first page of the journaling printable are the little icons and cut aparts, and then the second page are these 4 journaling cards. And so that is one of the printables that are in this collection, right? And then I have a printable that is all of these little journaling note cards. I call them note cards, and they're just little journaling spots. And I love these because I love using them in my journals. I find that I am always writing, and these are just nice to include. If I did like a little cluster and then I just need a little spot, I can just take one of these, put them in my journal, and just do a little bit of journaling. And so I have a sheet of this. So these 6 cards come on one sheet, and so that is the note cards. And then I have a tag printable. So you get 2 pages of tags. And so these are the designs on the tags, right? That's one sheet, and then the second sheet is this one. The designs might not end up laid out that way. I actually don't know which designs are on what sheet, but you get 2 sheets of 8 tags. So these are fun. These are really fun. The ones that are like patterned, you can definitely just build on top of them, right? But those are just fun tags. So that's another printable, are the tags. And then I have a printable that is B6 note paper. The ones that I have here, I shrunk down. So the B6 note paper will actually look like this. This is B6 size, and you get, I believe you get 8 pages. And I've done this before on different collections that I've created, but it's basically just note paper. It's a place where you can do some journaling that has a beautiful border on it. And so these are the B6 size. They're size B6, so that's what it looks like printed out B6. But for me, since my journal is a little A6 journal, I decided to print them out smaller than B6. So instead of printing them out 100%, I think I printed them out a little bit smaller than that. I think what I did was I printed so that two pages were printed on one page, and then shrunk that down a little bit. I played around with it and printed out a whole different versions. These are the ones that I kind of liked, were this little tiny one, and then I printed one that was slightly bigger than this little tiny one. But you basically get 8 sheets of note paper. Basically, that is what it is. And then for mine, I just printed a grid on the back. So I think all of them I printed a grid on the back. And so that is the B6 note paper. I just printed mine out in different sizes. And then the last one I have is the 12 by 12 pattern paper. Yes, 12 by 12 pattern paper. Normally I do them like 8 by 8. This time I did 12 by 12 for some odd reason, but I never create plaid pattern papers when I create my digital collections or my little kits or printables, only because for some reason, I don't know, pattern paper for me is a little bit more difficult or a little bit more time consuming to create. But I just sat in front of my computer one day and just made some paper. And so I only have 2 here. I believe you get 8. I feel like there are 8 designs. I may be wrong, but I think there are 8 designs. And what I did was I printed mine 8.5 by 8.5, and I did them double-sided. And so I have 2, so I have 4 of the designs here. The other 4 I already used to create my journal, and so I'll show you them in my journal. But I have this one, which is that cute little Thackeray Binks kitty on like purple, and then the back side is a floral wallpaper. And then I have this one, which I don't know if this is really hard to see or if the camera's picking up, but it's basically a black background with a page from The Taming of the Shrew in the back, so you see the text, and then you have the floral cluster with the teal green pumpkins. And then behind that is this script with this floral on the back. And then the ones that are missing that I already used, one is a ledger. So if I can find where I used that ledger in my journal, that would be incredibly helpful. So it's this ledger page here. It's this beautiful, beautiful ledger, if you can just imagine it. And then the back side is this wallpaper of like birds, right? And then the other one is this pattern, which is white with the scripts, and then it has the moons. And so it's basically this with the butterflies. And then the back is this floral, which is the same floral from this card here. And when I thought about it, I'm like, oh my God, I was supposed to show my papers, and I used my papers in my journal, and like, I didn't even print out extra. So those are the pieces from the kit, or from the collection really, because you can get all of the digitals in one kit. There is a kit, a digital kit in my shop that is called the Mystic Magic Digital Kit, and you can get all of it together, or you can buy the pieces individually, and I will leave all the links in the description box down below if you are interested in this digital collection. But yeah, I really loved these colors, and I really loved going with sort of the mystical, witchy motif instead of straight up black, white, orange, you know, green, purple, Halloween colors. And from creating that kit, from compiling things to use that match that, I made my little journal here. And so this is my journal. This is going to be my October Magic Journal, aka my October Daily for this year. And it's basically an A6 journal. And I created a quilted, well, I call them snippets, a snippet cover. I do have a class on my site that I created called the Snippet Journal, and basically you will learn how to make sort of this patchy quilted snippet journal cover, fabric cover. So these are just different fabric pieces that I just kind of put together and created a very large snippet, or snippet roll, but I created mine as a big large sheet. I believe in the course I create snippet rolls because it's just easier to do them in little strips and then use those to kind of patch and create a cover. But it's the same concept. I did some slow stitch embroidery on it. I added some beads and some lace and things in it. And yeah, I really love this, the colors, the cool colors of this cover. On mine, I used one of these little Tim Holtz. These are like those metal, I don't know what they're called, metal tokens, I believe. I have a bunch of them here. They're these metal tokens, and they're almost like little like nameplates almost. I have this one here that says the Season of Magic. I believe that this token in particular was from one of the Christmas collections that Tim Holtz came out with. But it says Season of Magic, and it can go for either Christmas season or Halloween season, to be quite honest. And it just fits so well with this because this is my October magic. And so I just kind of stitched it there with some embroidery thread. So it's like on my cover there. And I have two signatures in, and I put the signatures in with this seam binding. I just love the crinkliness of that. This whole journal is very tactile and everything feels really pretty, and like I can feel all the things. I love it. On the inside, I lined it with this fabric sample that I had. The colors just went with everything, and so I don't really ever use like dark colors, and so this is a first for me, but I really like how this turned out. And so I have two signatures in here, and I have enough to fill up 31 days. And so my idea is to do a spread a day. So this is 1 day, this will be 2 days, 3 days, etc., etc. And so I have, and I think there's 15 and 15 in here, or no, I think there's like about 16 and 16. I know it's like a little bit over 31. It's perfect. I mean, I know me, I like tipping stuff in to add more pages and stuff like that. So that might happen. Along with my papers that I created, I did pull some papers from my stash, and I also did use other digitals. And so I'll go over that. This first page of this first signature here, I believe is from Apple of His Eye. I believe that is the Instagram account. I will put it in the description. But the woman's name is Nanda or Amanda? Nanda. I believe it's Nanda, but I believe her Instagram account is The Apple of His Eye by Nanda, something like that. I'm so sorry, but I will put it in the description box down below. She has an Etsy shop. I believe this was from one of her free scripture printables. I believe all her printables are spiritual, as in like for Bible journaling and stuff like that. But she had one that was a free like study, and so I did download it because she uses some beautiful vintage, stuff. I think the other piece of this printable was this floral here, but I really just liked this. I thought this would fit really well with the colors and sort of the whole visual theme of my journal. And so that's the only thing from her that I used in this journal. And I just printed off, this is a crepe paper Maggie Holmes digital from AC Digitals. American Crafts Digitals is like one of my favorite sites. You can get any old American Crafts collection digitally and just print everything out as many times as you want. I love it. And so this is just a ledger from one of the Maggie Holmes collections. Then I did go ahead and get some of Christie's digitals from the Planner Society. This was one of the papers that I pulled out that I had from one of the kits that I used to get. And I pulled out a lot of stuff from this kit. Like, I think I have like the little die cuts here. I went ahead and did order more of these die cuts because I really do love this kit in particular. But I used this paper from that collection, and I just went on her Etsy shop and just bought other collections that sort of matched the tones here. And she had one that was very celestial, and it had a lot of this, and I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect for my theme of this journal. Very witchy, very mystical, and all that stuff. So I purchased a few, and I just kind of mixed and matched how I printed them. And so I just printed this one, and then I printed this one on the back. This one is actually from a physical Planner Society kit. It's one of the pages that I have left over, and I love this floral. And then this on the butterflies on the back. I have some sheet music. I have this paper, which I used in my Boston journal, which is basically what this journal is based off of, that little Boston travel journal. But this is from an old We Are Memory Keepers collection called Wildflower. And I thought these florals matched. Can go a little bit. It brings out that little warm tone. Not quite right, but the florals definitely do match. And since it's from the paper pad, it's just blank. I added some lace here. This is a vellum piece from I think this is from the Garden Party Maggie Holmes collection. It's black and white, so I thought it matched just fine. This was like a ombre color page from that same We Are Memory Keepers collection. I had the paper pad, so of course the back side is blank. I did go ahead and pick up a few of the rice paper from there's a really old Prima collection called Pink Autumn. And only because I thought like, oh, pumpkins, like the colors sort of match. It's more warm than what I'm using, but the rice paper is really thin and I really like how that looks. I'm probably not going to put anything on the rice paper. It's just going to be sort of how I would use vellum, right? It's very translucent. You can definitely see the book page on the other side. I just really like how it looks and I really love how it feels. Some book paper. This is another Planner Society paper from one of the kits that I had, and I love this matches. The yellow is a little out there, but it might work, or I might just cover it up, right? And so that's the first signature. Those are the papers for the first signature. This was an extra from my snippet that I used on the cover, so I just made it a little tuck spot there. And of course I added doilies. And so my second signature is that same paper, Planner Society paper. And then this is one of my designs, that ledger paper with the bird wallpaper on the back, doily, some more book paper, some more of that rice paper, then another piece of that We Are Memory Keepers paper. This is one of my paper designs, some sheet music, more of that vellum, some We Are Memory Keepers paper, more of that snippet. I did another tuck spot here, Planner Society paper. This is how it looks. And then this is some lace that I made like a deep pocket. And then these are the papers repeated. And so I will leave a link down below to like all the digitals that I used, especially the Planner Society ones, because you can get them from Christie's shop. So that is the cute little journal that I created. And I have a bunch of little pieces and like knickknacks sitting next to me that are just extra things that I'm hoping to use when I go and journal. And so these are the papers. This is paper stuff that I have here. I do have some pieces from this paper from, oh my God, I think Pink Fresh Studios did a Halloween collection also called Spellbound? Spellcast. I know AC Digitals has it digitally, so I will try to link it. But I had this paper, I had pieces of this paper left over, and it like had like potions, ingredient recipes and things like that, and so I thought that would be fun to use. The backside is this orange, which it's a beautiful orange floral, but I don't think the tone works very well. But I have pieces of that, so again I just kind of shopped my stash to see what I already had that may work. These are the pieces that were left over from the vellum that I used and from the We Are Memory Keepers papers that I used in the journal, so I will use these for collaging and stuff like that. I had this piece from, I think, Maggie Holmes's Marigold collection. Oh, yeah, I think it's Marigold. I pulled it out just for this floral because I thought that that's just black and white neutral. That would work with the theme. It would look really well. What else did I pull out that was a scrap? This was the other side of that that Apple of His Eye printable. I'm probably not going to use this because it doesn't really match very well, but I just kept it here. I have some book pages that didn't make it into the journal, so I figured I would use that. I have this paper pad from Oh my God. It's a British brand. I bought this at Paper Chase when I was in London the last time. And this pattern I thought was really, really pretty and that it could really match really well. And so it's just a bunch of butterflies. So I pulled that out to use. I have some pieces here from Daphne's Diary that are fall themed. And I thought Fall in Love, Hello Autumn, Hello October, Autumn Vibes, that I can definitely use this. Again, there's more of that orangey tone in it, but I feel like it would match. And so I just kind of pulled them all out. I'm not going to use all of them, of course, but I will use something. These were also stickers from a Daphne Diary magazine that was very autumnal. I might use this pumpkin and maybe not that, but we'll see. I just pulled it out anyway. Again, probably the only Halloween-y thing that I have. I do have sheets of, like, maybe I think 1 or 2 sheets of paper from this collection, but they were really dark and the colors didn't match. So I put the sticker sheet here for this because I can use some of the black and white ones, definitely. So I have that. And then I have a couple of more sheets from Daphne's Diary magazine. I have this one that is just a bunch of mushrooms, and that's probably what I'll use if I end up using it. I have this one of these cute little squirrels. They're adorable. Yeah, I just pulled it out just for the front. Then I have these. I felt like maybe I can fussy cut this floral here because it looks very, it's a rose, but it looks very like, I don't want to say creepy, but it looks very magical to me. And I really love that. And so I might fussy cut that and use that. But yeah, that's all I would use from here. And then I thought this piece here, maybe some of the florals would be something that I can use that would match really well. And so the Daphne's Diary stuff may or may not get used. And then I recently ordered a bunch of Daphne's Diary bits, and so I may actually peek into those paper pads that I purchased and see if there's anything in there that might work as well. But these are the papers that I will be using. I did go in my stash and like find other bits and pieces. I love this bag. It's one of the Planner Society bags, and so I may use that because that definitely looks on theme. And then I pulled out some ephemera bits. So a lot of these are from the Maggie Holmes Marigold because a lot of those pieces were very autumnal and it just had that vibe, you know, like this is the vibe, right? This is the vibe of my my kit of my journal and everything. And so I pulled out the pieces that may work with that. I'm just trying to see here if there are any other pieces. I don't think there are. This is a piece of that marigold paper. This is a piece of paper that I have that's from this same Pink Paisley collection, and so maybe I can use this somewhere. This is from a really old crate paper collection. I believe it's from Notes and Things, but it's just a sort of like a ledger, a check ledger card. Then I have a bunch of journaling cards here. Let's just take these out for a second. This is something that I made. These are my calendar cards. I like having sort of like my December daily. I really love having the December calendar at the beginning. And so I figured that I could have the October calendar in the beginning. And this is just a simple black and white card. I have the actual printable comes with all the months. And so there are 12 journaling cards that just have the days. They're not in any particular order. There isn't no Monday through Sunday. If you want to add those days in, you can just put them in for what year they are, but it's just that, right? So I have the ones for October there. And then I have a few cards here that are from different printables of mine. I feel like all of these are from the same printable. I believe these are from the same, I think it was a May printable. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember what it's called and I created it. But it's one of my May printables and I'm trying for the life of me to remember what it's called. With Love? No. I believe it was May 2020's printable. Or May 2021's printable. I will definitely leave it in the link down below, but these are the journaling cards. I feel like they just matched really well with the whole theme of my journal. And then I have a few here that are from that same We Are Memory Keepers collection. This collection is called Wildflower. It's a really old collection, but I have a few that I thought that might work as well. So those are my journaling cards. I did pull out a couple of things from Planner Society kits. So I have a bunch of the sticky notes from this collection that I use some of the papers. So I pulled out a few. I can use them for journaling spots. This is the collection that had the cute little fairies, and I thought that would work really well. This is from a really old Planner Society sticky note set that I had. I just really love this girl. I think she's very fairy-like, right? And so I thought that would be really well. And it's the only like purple Planner Society thing that I have. So yeah. So this was the backing card of this die cut set from the Planner Society. And I just made mine into a little pocket. I just sewed some vellum there. So I will use that. I like using little pockets in these small little journals. This is a Felicity Jane girl. I believe Felicity Jane has a Halloween collection. It's a digital collection on the shop. I will leave a link for that in the description. Anything that I mentioned that I can leave a link to, I would definitely leave it in the description box. This is actually from the Silhouette store. So there are some Silhouette cup files that Gina also created to match this Halloween kit, and I have them. And so I just printed the girl out and made her, I printed on sticker paper and had it so that it was kiss cut, so she kind of comes out. So I have her sticker there. She's basically the only cute Halloween thingy that I have besides this sheet, and I thought she would match really well. So from the Planner Society, I did go ahead and order another pack of those die cuts, and so the ones that I had left over plus the new ones are all mixed in here, but it's basically from that collection that had the beautiful little fairies and like butterflies and things like that. And so I thought that the fairies and the butterflies, and I also used this paper in my journal, would just match really perfectly. And so I have the sticky notes. There are two different versions of it, and I have the die cuts. So, and some of the papers that I'm using, I even went ahead and purchased the little stamp that matched because I just love this. I love that. And so I'm using very fairies, maybe witchy things. I also ordered some of the washi tape, but I don't think I used the washi tape from this collection. I think I only used that one. But these two are washi tapes that I had from Planner Society kits. And then this is a Felicity Jane washi, which I used up the last. This is the last of it, so I might want to, if there's still some on the site, I might want to buy another roll, given the news about Felicity Jane. I'm definitely going to need to make a purchase. And then this is a really old Prima marketing washi that I have, but these are some washi tapes that I pulled out that will work with my journal, and I use them strictly for tip-ins, really. And then I have some bits here that I pulled from different places. This is that girl again. I've kept this for so long, this die cut from this Planner Society collection. Oh my god, this Planner Society kit has to be from 2016. Or 2017. It's a really old one, and I just kind of hoarded her because she is gorgeous. So hopefully she'll find a home in this journal, maybe, if I use her. But I have different like die cut bits here. I have these moons. These were from an ephemera pack from Lace and Whimsy, and so I've had this for forever, and so I'm hopefully going to finally use those moons here. And then I have some pieces that were from my My Digital, for some My Digital kits. I think this is the only one that's from one of my printables. I feel this one was from the Harvest Moon printable. I think that was a November printable. That printable would go really well with this too, but that's one of mine. I have these pieces from a Daphne's Diary magazine that the colors would work really well, and then some mixture of pieces. A lot of these floral and butterfly pieces are from Crepe Paper Maggie Holmes collections. I believe all of these are probably from Marigold. They look very marigold to me. Same with this floral. This Happy Fall is from a Pink Fresh Studio collection. I just don't remember which. And then these I fussy cutted from some of that We Are Memory Keeper paper. And so again, these are just random ephemera bits that I have in my stash that I pulled out that I think the colors go really well. The last thing that I have to sort of finish off this ginormous kit that I'm going to be using to fill up this journal are some of my Lace and Whimsy stickers. A lot of these stickers I don't believe Kathy has in her shop anymore. I've just hoarded stickers from her shop for forever. They're gorgeous. I have here some that are actually from a past like Halloween collection that she had. These actually match my Breath of Autumn journaling printable, which I will leave in the description. Those are very Halloweeny themed, and so I'll probably use a lot of the black and white ones from here. And then, of course, Lace and Whimsy has some beautiful, beautiful witchy kind of magical stickers. And so I have one here. I think this is the 100% That Witch. I think that's what it's called. Sticker sheet that I haven't used. Definitely going to use it for this journal because it's so fitting. And then I have ones that were like the tarot, the moon tarot ones. I think this is an older one. I think they're all older designs, but you can still find the stickers and other sticker sheets from her shop. And then this one again with the star tarot girl. I really love this one too. And so I just pulled out those. I have a whole like section in one of my sticker albums that is strictly Lace and Whimsy stickers, but I pulled those out because I thought those would match really well with the theme and everything of this little kit that I made here from my stuff. Really, I basically shopped my stash for that, and from the little kit that I made to sort of supplement this. And so this is all of my stuff that I will be using this October to journal. And then again, this is my special little October journaling challenge. It's called October Magic. I set up a special page on my website for it where you can download this prompts list. And my intention for this is to share my process for some of these prompts. And so it's completely free. Anybody can download the prompts list and join in. There's a hashtag for it as well. Everything, all the info and all the things will be on my website, which I will link that link. It'll be the first link that I linked down below in the description box. But my intention is to, again, do a spread every day for every one of the prompts. And then I want to share a couple of the process videos of me creating the pages. And those process videos will be posted on my YouTube channel. So if you already subscribe here, you'll see them. And you can also find them on the page, on the web page for the October Magic Journaling Challenge. I will be linking them on that page as well. And so if you want to bookmark the page that has the prompts list, that has, links to my printables in my shop, all the things, that will be there. And so there's a special hashtag for this challenge. It is October Magic 2022. And yeah, I will be posting my stuff there under that hashtag. On Instagram, I will be sharing processes on like doing the prompts in my journal on YouTube, and I will have all of it be funneled to that wonderful page on my website that you can check out via the link down below. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you my journal that I made and the kit that I basically shopped from my stash and then created for myself and put in my shop for everyone else. I just wanted to come on and share the kit that I'm using and the journal I'm using for my little October daily challenge. Again, it's called October Magic, and it is a October journaling challenge. There's going to be one prompt for each day of the month, so 31 prompts. And yeah, I would so love if this is something that interests you. I would so love for you to join in whatever capacity that you can. It makes me really happy if you use the hashtag on Instagram, because that'll just give me a little bit of accountability for myself to like work in my journal on a daily basis. I kind of want to get to that point where I'm journaling daily, whether that is straight up journaling, like writing, or more so the creative journaling, because I haven't actually been able to creatively journal in a while. And I feel like I find that I tend to come to my journal more when I have some sort of monthly challenge to follow. And so that's why I kind of gave myself this little fun challenge, especially during a season that I normally wouldn't participate or wouldn't celebrate in general, right? But I kind of wanted to attempt an October daily, and so this is my way of doing it. Of course, you don't have to do it my way. You can do it however your way is. If you keep like a bujo or a planner or a scrapbook or whatever, you can do it however you want, a junk journal, whatever. But I would really love it if you participated. And joined, and that would make me so happy. It would make me so happy. It really would. And so, yeah, it would be really cool. Let me know if you're going to join in or not. And if not, I hope you enjoy all of the videos and all of the things that come from me doing this challenge. Anyway, this was a long video, and I didn't mean it for it to be really long, but I really hope you enjoyed looking at the little kit that I put together, looking at the little collection of digital printables that I created and are in my shop now, and the journal that ultimately the journal that I made. And honestly, I cannot wait to fill this up. I'm really hoping that it gets super chunky. I left this much space for it to grow, so hopefully it does grow into a little fat little thing. I would love that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.